a significant increase in benefits starting with $2,400 for seniors and disability benefit recipients, and under this proposal an increased cost of living adjustment is also stated. It means that you can actually get somewhere between $300 to $500 fixed increase in benefits, and we are talking about Social Security, SSI, SSDI, VA, railroad retirement, as well as for survival spousal benefits. If you receive any of these benefits, then make sure you stay with us till the end of this video. And this is not it. I'm also going to tell you about 3 ways the Trump administration is changing Social Security, and this is important. It means the way you receive your benefits right now is going to be completely changed. I'm going to give you each and every detail, but all I need is just a little favor. It takes 2 seconds to please hit that like button on this video. So without any further ado, let's start the video. So let me give you a very important update, and this is about a very important proposal that seniors love, and we are talking about the Social Security Expansion Act. Do you know Bernie Sanders introduced this very important bill, and now it seems like that is going to be reintroduced again according to a number of analysts and experts. So let's talk about what's included in this reintroduction, because now this bill have massive support from a number of lawmakers and even from Republicans. Look at this. The Social Security Expansion Act is a legislative proposal, not passed law, and its provisions have not yet taken into effect, but it's coming back, and it seems like Bernie Sanders is going all over the country to talk about it. While at the same time, under this very important proposal, $200 a month, that translates to $2,400 a year, will be given to millions of seniors who receive Social Security, SSI, SSDI, even surviving spousal benefits. And at the same time, it has this known as increased cost of living adjustment that could actually give you a fixed increase on top of this $200 or $300 to $500 increase or COLA increase every single year. Well, I'm gonna tell you about it, but first let me just tell you, in the recent hearing, Jimmy Gomez talked about Social Security, and he shared some very shocking details about your benefits that left everyone stunned. Watch this, then I'll come back and tell you about the changes and the increased COLA that you all have been waiting for.
On their side of the aisle, within the administration, within the Senate, say what they truly think about Social Security, which is the largest anti-poverty program in the country. What do they say? Scott Bessent, Secretary of the Treasury, said the one big beautiful bill is a backdoor for privatizing Social Security. I didn't say that. I don't think any of my colleagues on our side of the aisle had ever said that. He's the Secretary of the Treasury. He said it. And you go down the list. Elon Musk, Social Security is the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. The so-called Social Security Commissioner, Frank Biziano, said he had to Google what the position was about. He had to Google it. You can look it up. He had to Google what the Social Security Commissioner was about. And then Secretary Howard Lutnick, he said, let's say Social Security didn't send out their checks this month. My mother-in-law, who's 94, she wouldn't call and complain. Duh, you're worth $3.4 billion. So that's how they approach this issue. Like, go Mike Lee. I'm here to tell you now one thing that you probably haven't ever heard from a politician. It's my objective to phase out Social Security. Ron Johnson, it's a legal Ponzi scheme. Just go on and on and on. So what they're trying to do is have this hearing to say there's nothing to look at that, folks. There's nothing, we don't believe in that, when every single action they have taken says that they're not for it.
Well, according to Jimmy Gomez, that this administration is going to privatize Social Security, as the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent himself said that Social Security is something that should be privatized. Well, we haven't received any update regarding this, but this is what came from the mouth of Jimmy Gomez. Well, at the same time, let's talk about the 3 ways the Trump administration is changing Social Security, and this is very important. look at this. Now there's a need to show up in person. One of the biggest changes flagged by CBPP is that the Social Security Administration SSA is increasingly requiring people to show up in person for tasks, and it's a troubling situation for millions of seniors. Now phone service is largely unavailable according to this administration and Frank Bisignano as well, that now the wait times on the phone are lower than the previous administration. Let me know in the comments below, because according to this report it's not. Then the third one is also very important, as there's a need to meet strict requirements. Now some changes that could mean you need to go through more hoops include increased documentation requirements if you are going to apply for Social Security or would like to make a change into your benefits. And this is very important, very crucial, and very shameful for this administration, because seniors are already struggling, and when it comes to these changes it will certainly harm them, and this is not a good sign. So let's go towards this very important proposal that we were talking about, and we are talking about Social Security Expansion Act increase. Well, the Social Security Expansion Act is a legislative proposal, as I mentioned earlier, and under this proposal they're actually, especially Bernie Sanders, is calling for across the board increases such as $200 per month, that translates to $2,400 per year. Higher minimum benefit means the special minimum benefit for low income workers would be increased to 125% of the federal poverty line, and then increased cost of living adjustment, changing it from CPIW to CPIE, means consumer price index for elderly. What it would do exactly, according to a number of analysts and experts, it will simply analyze the seniors' spending, means how much they spend on their rent, on their mortgage, on their groceries, on their utilities, especially on their prescription, and then the new COLA will be set to a number that will be higher or parallel to the current inflation, and according to a number of analysts and experts, it could result in $300 to $500 increase in benefits for millions of these seniors. Well, now the biggest thing is that how they're going to implement it. Now the biggest question is that what's the status of this bill? Let me just tell you that Bernie Sanders actually reintroduced this proposal recently and Mike Crapo blocked it, but it seems like that Bernie Sanders is going to reintroduce it again. According to a number of analysts and experts, we are yet to see any update from Bernie Sanders. This is not confirmed yet, but the reason that we are talking about this bill, because this is something that seniors are leaning towards. They really like this bill, and the reason is simple, that it will just not increase their regular benefits or make it parallel to the current inflation, such as this $200 per month or $2,400 per year for all Social Security SSI SSDI and survival spousal benefit recipients, but it will also increase the cost of living adjustment that will give them an additional increase somewhere between $300 to $500 when it comes to their COLA, and this is going to be a very big thing for millions of these seniors and disability benefit recipients who are struggling right now in this worst inflation. And I would like to ask you that what do you think about this whole situation? If you support this bill and if you support an increase in your benefits, then make sure you write in the comment section, I support Social Security raise. Again, if you support it, then write in the comment section, I support Social Security raise, because remember, if you don't do anything, nothing will happen. Well, by the way, there's one very important update that I want to tell you right here, that there's another bill that can change a number of things for millions of recipients, and known as Social Security 2100 Act. It's from a long-term advocate of John Larson, but when you compare both of this bill known as Social Security Expansion Act is actually a better bill than 2100 Act, because 2100 Act is only calling for 2% increases across the board, while this one is actually calling for $2,400 a year. That translates to $200 increase every single month. Well, if you have any questions at all, then please let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer each and every question of yours. I'll see you in the next video very soon. Till then, please take care and have a nice day.